Hello and welcome to the February 14th, 2017 Valentine's Day special of the Jess Strom Show. I'm your host, Katie Tetzlaw, first time and probably only time host. Have a great show for you today. We have the wonderful senior class of Cal U. We have a nice long chat with Jess Strom about the weekend review and upcoming games, and also have the opportunity to talk a little bit about the PSAC standings and also the NCAA rankings. But first and foremost, we want to meet the two beginning part of our seniors chat, Mickey Glenn and Precious Martin. If you could tell the viewers where you're from and what your major is, that would be great.
I'm from Bridgeport, West Virginia, and I'm a chemistry major.
I'm from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm a liberal arts major.
Great. And you've been with the squad for now 4 years, coming down to the end. Mickey, tell us a little bit about, where you were as a freshman and now where you are as a senior with the team.
I was a freshman coming in. I was a little scared, coming into a whole new system with a whole new coach, with whole new teammates. But I think I've really grown into a pretty good leader here, and that's a tribute to the coaching staff and the people that I've come across, and also my teammates.
Absolutely, and we've seen that growth and changes in you, and it's just been fantastic. Precious, senior season, coming down to, again, the last 4 games, looking to finish the regular season off with a bang. How do you feel about where we are right now as a group?
I feel good. I feel like we're focused and we know what we want, and I feel like we're working hard.
Absolutely. And ladies, you come to practice every day. You know what it's about. You know what we put into it. But I want to hear from your perspective, what 2 things, Mickey, do you think that we do every day in practice that has so far contributed to our success?
I think one thing is definitely we demand a lot of each other, whether it's the coaches or the players. If something is going on wrong, somebody's always saying something to someone else. And I think recently we've done a good job of encouraging each other, making good plays, even good defensive plays, even if it's not the whole point of the drill. But we've done well encouraging each other.
Absolutely. And Precious, and moving forward in finishing the regular season, what do you think that we could do as a team to, become better and make sure that we're finishing off on the right note?
I think to what Mickey said, continue to encourage each other and keep each other accountable for practicing hard and playing hard and just finishing strong.
Absolutely. And I think we're heading in the right direction. And ladies, I thought it would be fun to kind of play a fun game with word association. So I'm going to say a name, and I want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind. I'll start with you, Mickey, and then we'll go to you, Precious. The word toughness. What comes to your mind?
Lana.
Lana Dorn.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Precious. Defense. What comes to your mind? Doesn't have to be a person.
Abby.
Abby, absolutely. She's grinding. Mickey. Teammates.
Interesting.
Precious. Weight room.
Mickey Glenn.
Dominates.
Dominates. Always.
And got to give a special shout out to Bobby too, because I think of Bobby when we think of the weight room. Mickey. Jess Strom.
Calm.
Absolutely. Precious Martin. Halftime.
Pass.
Halftime.
Quick.
Yes, very quickly. Precious. Offense.
Sierra.
Mickey Glenn. Compete.
Every day.
Every single day. And the last one for you, Precious. What comes to mind when you think of the word championship?
Ours.
Absolutely. And we can't thank you enough, I know, as a coaching staff, for your contributions to our program. You guys have been so great to work with. I think all the viewers out there know how hard you work and what you've contributed to the success of the program, and we're really looking forward, I know, as a coaching staff, to moving on to the last regular season games, and then on the 25th being able to celebrate you and all your accomplishments. And we just couldn't be more thankful that you're here with Cal.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Thanks,
All right.
Coach T. That's nice.
Hi, and welcome back to the second segment of the Jess Strom Show. We are so thankful to have our other two seniors with us today, Brittany Nelson and Lana Doran, two very different aspects coming in compared to Mickey Glenn and Precious Martin. These two transferred into Cal U. And I just want to kind of hear about your story, about where you came from and how you transitioned to Cal U and kind of how it's going right now for you. Britt?
I came from Majuco College in
What school was it?
Lackawanna. Coming here was very different. My roles were different over the 3 years. My first year coming in, like trying to figure out what Cal was about, and then second year tearing my ACL and having to sit out and cheer on and go through my own situation. And then this year coming back and just supporting the team as much as I can.
Absolutely. And Lana, same to you. You came to us, as a transfer student. Tell us a little bit about your transition.
Yeah, I came from a D1 in North Carolina called Gardner-Webb, transferred here to Cal. I think I was just apprehensive coming into a new team, didn't really know my role, didn't have that established coming straight in, but I was just hoping that I'd made the best decision, and I was really pleased.
Absolutely. And obviously, Britt, you mentioned the injury. You two really have similar paths. Think about you both coming at the same time, you getting injured, basically having the same type of injury, and then being able to play, finish out your senior year and play. Tell us a little bit about the recovery process, Britt, and kind of what you put into it and where you are now.
The recovery process was not easy.
No, never.
It was very frustrating at times. Like, you would go through like the roller coaster, like the lows, you'd be in the middle, then you'd be high, then you go back to low.
But how have you bounced back from that? Now that you have the opportunity to be, free to do whatever you need to do.
I mean, I can walk, so.
So you're happy.
Yeah. And even being able to just be on the court again, practice and stuff like that, like I'm grateful for that. So.
That's great. And Lana, same to you. How was that recovery process? It's always difficult, especially I'm sure it was pretty helpful having someone to lean on like Britt, having the same type of injury.
Yeah.
How was your process and kind of how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm not thankful that Brittany did hers, but I'm so thankful that I had her. I couldn't have done it without her. It was really challenging, really tested my patience. Wasn't anything that I expected. Wasn't sure what to expect, but I found it was a really tough process. Now you're just so grateful to be able to move again, and it's still ongoing. We're still rehabbing. We're still strengthening. It still continues, so it hasn't actually finished that rehab process. But now we're just so grateful to put the jerseys back on. It felt a long year off the court, but I couldn't have done it. Couldn't have done it without Britt.
And now kind of down to the end, ladies, 23-1, 17-1 in the conference, 12-game win streak, and undefeated here at home. In a perfect world, ladies, how do you want your careers at Cal U to end?
Championship.
So nothing more would be acceptable in your eyes.
No, we know what it tastes like, and that's what we work for every single day.
And you've been a part of a championship, and you know what that's all about. And to taste that, I'm sure you want to taste that again because there was nothing like that. I know the feeling I felt being able to come home a champion and ending your season on a win. So I'm with you, ladies. I know exactly how you feel. Now to have a little bit of fun. We have some cards in front of you.
do it.
They are holding a name of each one of the seniors. And I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
And I want you to choose what senior you think best fits that question.
Okay.
So, starting question number 1. Out of that group, who gives out the most compliments? And if you could show the viewers who you pick.
You can only pick one.
You can only pick one.
One.
And I know there's multiple, but you can pick one and then say something else about it. Most compliments.
The most compliments. Oh my gosh, that's a really difficult one.
You got to pick one. You got 5, 4, 3, 2. We got Presh. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's a duet karaoke competition.
Oh gosh.
Who would you pick as your partner?
Got it.
Wait a minute. I'm going to go back.
There you go. Now, Britt's a singer, so that's a no-brainer. Now, Precious, can she hold her own?
She can hold a few notes.
Okay, she can hold her own.
Precious can sing.
All right, out of this group, who is the best cook? Because I don't know this. I wouldn't know this answer. Because I know you guys all do a little bit of cooking up
We
in
do.
Vulcan Village.
I haven't tasted a bit of someone's cooking though, so that's hard. Oh my gosh.
All right, picked each other. Now, what's your specialty meal, Britt?
Mine, barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
Lana, what's
That's
your meal?
hers, yeah. I thought you wanted me to tell you Brittany's. My favorite, I don't know, what do I cook a lot of? I like steak. Cook
Yeah?
steak.
Well, she
yeah.
picked
She's
you.
good with meats. She's good with meats too.
So,
Yeah.
well, meat and potatoes, London. Come on now.
All right.
All right, on a deserted island, you need to survive.
Oh gosh,
Who do you want to be on that island with? I mean, who could have picked that? Absolutely. Why would you choose Mickey on
She's
that?
so smart.
Very intelligent.
She's going to get the job done.
Yeah.
She's
We'd
going to figure it
survive.
out.
We would survive.
And I don't know this one. Out of this group, who is the first one to hit the dance floor?
If I could choose two, it would be.
Oh!
But I say. I'll take mine.
Got moves we've never seen before?
Me either. French fries.
All right. I know who I would choose on this one. Most likely to be a reality TV star. Precious getting a lot of these.
Yeah, definitely.
All categories.
Who is the most girly girl out of this group? You picked yourself. All right. And who would win in an eating contest? Like a pie eating
What are we
contest?
eating?
Hot dogs. Let's say a hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July. Who's winning that? Mickey Glenn.
Yes.
Mickey, I didn't know she had that.
I think Mick can eat.
Well, ladies, I can tell you, it has been so much fun. We are so thankful that you two jumped on board. I don't think we could have been luckier with two people coming in to contribute to the program who have brought so much energy and enthusiasm, but I think more importantly, a lot of maturity to our group. I think that's exactly what we needed, and I know we're thankful for your contributions.
Very mature.
So thankful for your contributions to the team, and I know finishing out these 4 regular season games are going to be great, and then for the last regular season game, senior night, be able to celebrate just like we would be celebrating Mickey and Presh. So we're so thankful that we're finishing up this year with you guys, and we're really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, commercial break coming up. Hello and welcome back to the Jess Strom Show. Now is a great opportunity to be able to chat with our head coach, Jess Strom, about the week's events. First, starting with the 88-68 win over Gannon. Jess, tell us a little bit about the game and kind of what your thoughts were on the win.
You know, it's kind of hard sometimes to think back. That was a long time ago. But I think the thing with Gannon is we started out really, really strong. I think they had a hard time with our pressure. And they came back, but I think it kind of lasted throughout the game. They were kind of nervous with our traps and with our defensive pressure. And again, they always put the offensive highlights on here, but it really should start with our defense. Here we go. And you see, anytime we get steals and can get down the floor quickly, it's really good for us to get easy points in transition. I think we kind of shocked them early, and then, like I said, they did come back a little bit, but had a pretty hard time handling our pressure.
Absolutely, and you're talking about the defensive side of the ball for us, and during that game, 43 points off turnovers. Can you tell us why you wanted to play this way, like where you started to learn about how you put defense first?
Yeah, I don't necessarily remember. I probably just took a little bit from a couple different places, but I just think there's not a ton of people that can handle themselves under pressure well. So I think if you put a lot of defensive strain on people, sometimes they crumble. And for our team especially, I think if we can turn people over and score easy layups, it's much better for us because we're not the best half-court offensive team you're ever going to see. So I think for us to get easy baskets is really, really important.
Absolutely. And just as we're watching, saw a couple plays by Sierra Barrett. Big game for her with 34 points and 7 rebounds. Can you tell us a little bit about her performance in this game?
Yeah, I think she was just on offensively, and I think when she's on offensively, her defense picks up, her talk picks up. And I think for Sierra, it's a lot about how she starts, and I think she started early, so I think she just continued throughout that game. And if you see, she really only played 21 minutes, so she did all that in about half of a game. But if we can put that together, if everybody can play their best at one time, I think we'll be a really scary team.
Absolutely. And, finishing this off and watching this play, I just was amazed at some of the outside shots that Sierra had made on these highlights. And just tell us a little bit about her progression from where she started to kind of where she is right now.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think summers are so big for everyone. And I think one of the things she really wanted to work on was her mid-range game. And I think she did get in the gym and shoot those shots. So, I think you can definitely tell that she has more confidence in them. And so now she's very difficult to guard because you have to guard her for that shot. And if you don't, she can get to the rim on you. So kind of just makes her more dynamic.
And there's the final score again, 88-68. That was the beginning of the week for us. And then moving directly on to Seton Hill, a close game for us. Thought we didn't shoot our best, didn't have the best offensive performance from the Vulcans this season. Can you tell us a little bit about how that game went?
Yeah, it was probably one of our worst offensive performances of the season, which is okay if you play defense. That's what we always try to say. If you commit to playing defense, you can still win games when you shoot. What did we shoot from the free throw line?
I think it was
under
the second,
50.
It was the second worst performance. It was definitely, I think, right at 50. Yeah, right under 50.
Yeah, so, you're going to have those games, unfortunately, but I think when you're a team that focuses on defense, it's okay. If you're a team that focuses all on offense, you lose those games typically. So for us, we didn't play great, but I think in the last 4 minutes of the game, we had people step up and make some really big plays. Thankfully, and Seton Hill's a good team, and Seton Hill's a hard place to play. And it's Saturday when you had a whole week of practice. We don't get our day off till Sunday, so to come away with a win, we're happy with that. Obviously, we'd like to play better, but you just take the day off, refocus, and then get back at it this week.
Yeah, and 2 huge performances I thought during that game, not just points-wise, but obviously rebounding-wise. Precious Martin with 21 points and 10 boards, and Chatera Parsons with 14 points and 12 rebounds. Can you tell us, what that contributed during this game?
Yeah, it brings us energy. I think we were taking some outside shots, and at the beginning, I think Precious did a great job of getting to the glass. Even when she wasn't rebounding, she was getting tips on the ball, and it just gives your offense energy, especially when you're having an off shooting night. So that was huge for us. And then, Shaw went in and did the same, got to the rim, got on the boards, and those are things that we kind of say all the time. We're more athletic than most teams. So if we can really crash the offensive glass, it's huge for us.
Absolutely. And, just kind of talking about this game, I thought, in this third and fourth quarter, we kind of had some surges of really close the whole way. It was very much a back and forth game, a couple games of runs. Can you kind of talk to us a little bit about the fourth quarter and more or less towards the tail end, kind of what happened and what you thought we did that we were able to kind of overcome being tied and kind of being down a point or two and just kind of making our way back to being Cal basketball?
Yeah, I think, we have players that have been in really big time situations. They've played in big games. They played in championship games. So I think that's to our advantage when we are in close games and it comes down to the last quarter. We've learned how to win close games. So I think that's huge for us. just experience. That's where you can't really teach it. And I think Seton Hill hasn't really been in many of those games. So I think for us, it's really to our advantage.
Yes, absolutely. And again, the final score, Cal 71, Seton Hill 62. Kind of recapped that week. And now kind of talking about this coming week's games. Obviously, UPJ coming up and then Clarion on the road. Kind of talk to us about what's coming up.
Yeah, we have UPJ tomorrow, which, they're at the bottom of our conference right now, but any team you play this time of year is going to give you their best. So, I think we are prepared. We know what they're going to do. We watched 2 days of film like we always do. And, it's just a matter of us coming out and playing how we want to play and starting early and quick and being aggressive. So I think, and then we go to Clarion, which is another hard place to play typically. But I think if we take care of ourselves and we are disciplined and play how we need to play, there's not many teams on our schedule that we can't beat.
And while we were chatting, Coach just saw the standings and kind of where we are at the top and who's below us and kind of like the race to the finish. And just want to know what your thoughts are on basically the standings right now.
Yeah, I think it's kind of what we expected going into the season. There's been some upsets, but you typically see Cal, IUP, Edinburgh at the top, and Mercier's really good senior team this year. So I think going into the season, you kind of expected those 4 to be up there. But really close, luckily we're 2 games ahead, but everybody else is there 1 game behind. And, we still have IUP and Mercier. So big games coming up these last 4.
Absolutely. And recently, Coach, any team would like their full complement of players on any given day. And I know with our starting rotations, it's been kind of interesting. You just never really know who's going to be in the lineup. Can you speak a little bit about that and what kind of challenges that brings?
Yeah, it's been kind of a crazy year that way. We've been missing people. I think 14 out of our however many games we've played, we've missed somebody in our rotation. So you just have to adjust. I think our kids have done a great job. Somebody steps up for whoever's out. You can't really complain about it. You can't do anything about it. So, people just have to step up. And I think that's good for us coming down the stretch because, there's going to be times someone maybe is in foul trouble or gets hurt and has to leave a game. So for us, I think, not at the time, but right now it might have worked to our advantage.
Absolutely. And talking about the regular season games, as a head coach, what do you think your biggest challenge is in finishing out the regular season when you've had a lot of success like we've had?
I think just staying focused. I think we have some goals in mind, and you heard the kids on earlier talk about championships, and that is our end goal. And I think they realize because they've been there before, you do have to take every game seriously, though. So I think the challenge is just taking each game at a time, not looking ahead, because March is creeping up on us, and that's the fun time of year. So, just playing tomorrow and then playing Saturday and then just focusing on the next week ahead, I think is our challenge.
Absolutely. And then coming up with the NCAA rankings. I know that they come out and just kind of wanted to get your opinion on kind of where we are, moved up to 3, and just wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you see, obviously Ashland's still undefeated. Alaska Anchorage was in the championship game last year and then us. So I think it's a great compliment to how other coaches view us and, our record right now. We only have the 1 loss. But it's nice to see, it's obviously nice to write an article that we're 3rd in the country. But we kind of have to play that way. I think we have done a good job so far. But at the end of the day, the rankings don't mean much if you don't come out and play and, try to reach your goals and win championships.
And I know most people always ask coaches, what's their things that they love to do, whether that's being able to have a nice day off when you actually get a chance to step away from basketball. But I was just curious, Coach, what are some things that you really don't like to do?
Well, I really don't like to read.
Just not a big fan of
I actually hate it. I really don't like to do dishes.
Me neither, I'm with you. Terrible.
I don't know. I can pretty much do anything and be okay. So those are probably my top 2.
Yeah, you're very easygoing. I feel like you're so easy to please in terms of just being able to hang out on your couch and watch basketball. So I don't think there's too many things that really, one way or the other, fire you up. just
Yeah.
kind of very easygoing.
Yeah.
And just curious, because I'm actually really interested in this. Obviously, we've been friends for a long time. I know you on a personal level and a professional level, but whether this be personally or professionally, what is some of the best advice that you were ever given?
I think the best advice I was probably ever given was from my dad. And he always used to say, don't wish your life away. And I think kind of just means like stay in the moment. I think when you're young, you're always wishing you were 16 so you can drive. You're always wishing you graduated high school. You're always wishing something in advance. So I think that's the best advice, to just try to be happy in today. You know what I mean? Like just take advantage of today, and because it flies by. And I think that's probably, if I had to say one thing, the best advice.
I think I noticed that too. You're very present. Every day you're just very engaged in, what you're doing at that moment. And I think it's much appreciated by the coaching staff and our players, because you never get too high and you never get too low. You're kind of just even in terms of where we are as a program and just focusing on the day and getting better. And I know that we really appreciate it. What motivates you this season, Jess, in terms of, on the long days that we're watching film and the long days that we don't get a chance to get home, what motivates you to kind of keep going and keep coaching?
Well, obviously it's something I love to do. I don't think we would do this job if you didn't love it, because it's long hours and it's tiresome most days. But obviously your players, this is why we do it. You try to make a difference somehow, and you know what they want. And we always try to tell them we're on the same team. Like, we want the same things. We want to win, and we want you to leave here and be successful. And so I think when days get long, you kind of just refocus and regroup and say, okay, this is why we're doing it. And I think it's easy for us because we've had success. So you remember what those feelings feel like, and the time you put in. So you kind of just feel bad if you don't put the same time in now.
Well, that's basically it for our Jess Strom show. It was a pleasure to be here with you and with our players. And I know I had a lot of fun. And really looking forward to maybe sitting in next week. And actually not, but I think I'll retire and give it back to Gary, who does a great job. But it was a lot of fun, and really looking forward to the next week with Cal U Women's Basketball. And for everybody out there, come support. We have a home game tomorrow. Would love to see your face.